So welcome back everybody to the Hogs of War League, here with Mascettino versus Iron Fox. As you can see, Mascettino is going for a lineup of a Sapper, Grenadier, Sapper, Paratrooper and a Scout. We're starting off on Ridgeback, which is a tricky map, and it's one we haven't seen too much so far in this competitive league. But this is a big match for both players. If Mascettino wins, he will go into 4th place and I'll drop down to 5th. And if Iron Fox wins, I think if he wins 2-0, if he wins both of these games starting off here, he will go top of the table. So Iron Fox is looking to have a similar lineup. Of course, you can't go without the Grenadier or the Sapper on Ridgeback. There's plenty of shrapnel grenades. There's a couple of rocket launchers, including mines. And don't forget the random crate that you'll also find towards the minefield on this map. But Iron Fox is pretty well known at this point for using the poison strategy, trying to get as many turns as possible. And it looks like he's going to go for 2 scouts here, and a medic, and a grenadier, and a sapper. So it is Mascettino to start with his sapper. And as I said, it is everything to play for in this game. Both players raring to go. And Mascettino is quite content. He's a player that likes to use the analog sticks rather than the basic directional movement that you would get from a regular PS1 controller. But immediately picking up the mines, looking to, I think, get the other crate. And he goes the long way around, using up a fair amount of time here. Needs to get this shot away with the grenade launcher, looking for a target. Just about. Bounces it over the mines. Gets the sapper. Gets the other scout, and as you can hear, he's somewhere in the minefields. And he lives. Down to 56 health. And Iron Fox immediately looking to retaliate. So Ridgeback is a tricky map, but there are ways that you can get plenty of double kills. In combination with mines, of course, shrapnel grenades, like I said, rocket launchers, and there's no one on the far side of the map. Maybe, just maybe, someone might look to move over there to collect the random crate, but look at the position of the paratrooper here, right next to the minefield, and a perfect place for Iron Fox to plant his TNT and drop him in there. So there will be some hefty damage onto Tenko, the paratrooper, but how much are we talking? There's one, and he is safe. So he moves down to, I think, about 50 health. So he must have taken at least 20. But he's got shrapnels now. Mascettino has the numbers on this side of the map. And look at the orderly's position. Not the best place to be spawning. And Mascettino's going to play it safe. He's going to roll it slowly towards the orderly. Looking to blast him in the right direction. Can he detonate it at the right time? Yes, he can. And that will be not a kill, but plenty of damage on the orderly, which is what you want to remove his healing and tranks and just everything in between. Meanwhile, Iron Fox's Grenadier is not really in a key position. But where does he go from here? He's looking for that crate. So what's it going to be? It could be an F-Rain airstrike. Could be a shockwave. Could be a suicide. It is! Oh, a super TNT. And he's going to, I think, hold on to that for now. Save it for later. And go for the Grenadier in the meantime. So that is a big, big pickup for Iron Fox. So getting lucky. Not getting the fullest amount of damage there with the cluster bombs. But he'll be happy to have picked that up anyway. And of course he has positioned himself, I think, far enough from any kind of minefield. Mascettino will be looking to blast him towards that, or at least in the water. So that is the main hazard right now. But how's he going to do it? Because he is... Oh, could get the lucky bounce if he gets the kill here. If he removes Iron Fox's ability to use that Super TNT later on, then he will have the advantage because he has dealt some hefty damage so far. Both players, as I've said before, blow for blow, down to 70, gets the bounce, and he's, oh goodness me, oh my goodness me, Mascettino could get a double kill here, as the scout swims the long way, survives just about, but the extra explosion from the mines just instantly kills the Grenadier. Iron Fox can only look to have a solemn use of the Trank. Surprisingly not looking to heal, which is what I thought he would do, but instead removes the threat from the Grenadier for a turn. But Mascettino down to 60 health. So plenty to do for both sides, but Mascettino with the advantage, taking out the most dangerous pig on Iron Fox's side, and picks up the rocket launchers as well. He is unfazed right now, and he's on a mission to use those jetpacks, deal some damage, kill the orderly. I think he'll finish this off if he has enough time. No, gets the kill. It's not going to matter. I don't think that will bother him too much, as the orderly eventually drowns from bouncing into the water. And Iron Fox has 2 scouts and a sapper remaining, losing his 2 most important pigs. And you can see here, he could get a hit with the poison, but he needs to be angled in the right way. So he's going the long way round to roll it past the Grenadier and then onto the scout. And he does get it in time. That should be enough, I think. It is indeed. So he gets the double hit with the poison. So the scout's down to 115. And I need to adjust my volume. Apologies. But it seems that Mascettino is looking to do exactly the same thing. The scout is lined up almost with the other scout, but it's going to be a tough one from this angle. Both players looking to get double hits with the poison gas. I think that's too close to one of the scouts. Is going to bounce off him, which it does. But Herman, ooh, that could have been a vital pick there for Mascettino if he had poisoned the other scout. Would have gained himself an extra turn, but instead Iron Fox gets to move away. And where does he go from here? How much health does the Grenadier have? It doesn't matter because he's going for another poison, which in the long run will again deal him some good. Just about gets it. The poison almost missing its mark there. And it's going to be the battle of the sappers here. 103 versus 107. And he's going to go, oopsie daisy, he's going to go straight for the TNT, but rushing a little bit. Losing some health, but going for the mines. If he can get him over there, then the pig should potentially swim towards the mines. But Mascettino needs to be careful, needs to run away. He gets enough distance away from the TNT, shouldn't take any damage from it. And well, ooh, just dropping short, but gets one of the mines. And the sapper drops to 33. But I mean, if you see Mascettino's position from here, he has done the right thing in running as close to the wall as he can, which puts him out of range, I think, of the mines. A little bit too far. You saw that Iron Fox only just made it over there. So it's going to be tough for him to land in the mines. Iron Fox's pig landing in the water, down to 14 health. But he does get a hefty amount of damage on Mascettino, down to 23. And if you look at the damage numbers, you immediately know that Iron Fox is going to go for another poison. I mean, he has to. He can go for several things here. He can shoot the paratrooper, get him down to 5 health. And then he can poison the other sapper who's on 23. But he has to be wary of Mascettino's other pig on the far side, who I believe is currently undamaged, still at full health, 150. So Iron Fox has his work cut out for him at the moment. But as it is in Hogs of War, you can't rule anything out, can't rule anybody out. It's all to play for. And oh boy, I don't know, I'm just excited to see how both of these players are going to react. But that should be a kill for Mascettino. He has just enough time as he moves his pig back inland. Didn't really need to use the TNT. Could have just shot him with the shotgun, that would have been enough. So maybe a little bit of a waste of the TNT, but nevertheless he will be happy to get the kill, and he drowns as well. But I think Iron Fox will be looking to gain another turn here. He hasn't noticed, I don't think, the numbers. He's not looking to move anywhere anytime soon. So I think he's going to look to gain another turn by dealing just enough damage. Not too much, just 25. So that's 2 turns gained, which means that it will be 2 versus 3. And Iron Fox will be, I think, looking to pick up the crate. Gets the rocket launcher, which will deal some good damage, some much needed damage, given that the scout is fairly limited when it comes to damage. It's very linear. You always deal 40 damage with the sniper rifle. And I mean, that's kind of it. But yes, he has, of course, noticed the other sapper looking to get the double hit here, but needs to be wary of time. If he can at least get one, then that will change things up. Gets the poison, gets the other poison. 2 double hits in this game. And that's another turn gained immediately. Mascettino is going to look to pass the favor along and gain himself another turn, which in turn will cancel out the turn that he misses. So, yeah, your brain might be a bit scrambled, but that's how it is. And yes, the sapper dies. So, 1 versus 3. But Iron Fox with a poison pig on 85 health. He has rocket launchers, but he has his work cut out for him here. And I think he's going to look to swim. Doesn't get the jump that he would have wanted. Down to 70 health now. His health is vital. He wants to keep as much health as possible. But I think he kind of knows what is coming. Instead, looks to get the rocket launcher shot as much damage as he can. And just drops him in the water, down to 84 health. Gains another turn. So it's 2v1. Still all to play for. Could get even more damage once again. Maybe with the mines in combo with his sniper rifle to get that 60 damage. There are, of course, the minefields right over there. Over yonder. This will bump him down to 24 health at least. And not quite any extra damage, but he'll be happy with that. But then we have the scout on the other side of the map, who still has plenty of health, but it's not really going to matter because Mascettino is looking to take this victory in round 1. And unfortunately that will be the end of Iron Fox, as his health will move down to just 9. He will be poisoned. And Mascettino takes this victory just about on Ridgeback. Iron Fox fought well. Of course, the poison doing him some good, but it was too little too late. And next up, we're going to move on to round 2, which is going to be on Dam Busters. So it could be a long one. Get your popcorn ready and stay tuned. So, welcome back to round 2. Mascettino setting up his squad here with 2 paratroopers, a scout. What else? 2 scouts and what seems to be a medic, which is interesting. Of course, mobility, sniping and healing all at the heart of his team. But how will that fare in combination with what Iron Fox will be going with in his lineup? We shall see. So Iron Fox looking to go for a similar strategy, 2 paratroopers. And I'd be surprised if he doesn't have at least 1 scout in his lineup. Medics are a tricky one on Dam Busters, given the overall bigness of the map, if you will. Just the overall size of the map and how much distance is needed when you use jetpacks. It's a lot to get your head around and to plan out and strategize for. Because Dambusters is one of the bigger maps in general. But we are raring to go. Both players ready. Iron Fox will be looking to come back in this game as he is now 1-0 down. Mascettino will be looking to finish things off, which would be a surprise. Iron Fox has been on a winning streak, but it will be Iron Fox to go first, not Mascettino, given that he went first in the previous round. So, everyone's ready. Jetpacks at the ready. Who's going to steal whose health crate? There are, of course, 2 jetpacks in the middle of the map, and a total of 4 health crates on Dambusters, which gives a total of 200 health. That's going to be a tight squeeze here for Iron Fox. I think he's just going to make it. So a very well timed jetpack shot there, just about picking up the other health crate. I don't think he's going to want to go for the other one. He is indeed. He goes for it instead. He uses his first turn to collect both, which is a strategy that I'm kind of used to. My game against Iron Fox saw him pick up all 4 health crates on Death Bowl, which ultimately ended in my defeat. So jetpacks, mobility and health all at the heart of this one, as the paratrooper is bumped up to 230 health, and Mascettino I think will be looking to do exactly the same thing. Health is not something you can really ignore in Hogs of War, because who doesn't want to bump their health up as much as possible? He doesn't get any damage there with the jetpack, but he does have a bit more time. But both players not looking to really deal any damage on their first turn. Looking to both have a pig that has over 200 health, and Mascettino should have enough distance on this drop with the parachute to land on top of the health crate. Or at least that's what he's hoping. You don't want to land next to a health crate, because then the other player can either pick up said health crate or destroy it and deal extra damage upon you. So now that the health is collected, it's all about the damage. Mobility, what's gonna happen, I don't know. But this map, like I said, tends to be a long one. Both of these players are a little bit more experienced, so we should expect to see some decent strategies. But the issue with Dambusters, is unfortunate for Iron Fox. I think he maybe damaged his pig a little bit. But he will look to get the bazooka shot and possibly some water damage here onto Mascettino. That should be just enough. 34 doesn't knock him in the right direction that I think he would have wanted, but he's down to 196 health. But as I was saying, both players are more experienced, and the players that we have seen play so far have managed to complete this map fairly quickly in their matches. But the less experienced competitive players have taken a lot longer to really get going. We saw Bobby's game against Axby a couple of weeks ago, and things were quite slow. The match lasted on Dambusters about 40 minutes, maybe a little bit less. But it's quite long for a game of Hogs of War. But Mascettino dealing a ton of damage, down to 122, compared to Iron Fox bumping Mascettino's paratrooper down to 196. So if we're talking numbers and health, Mascettino has the advantage. Iron Fox will look to knock off the scout and reign supreme on top of the dam, which is kind of where you want to be. It's a double-edged sword, because yes, you have the high ground, but what else can you really do? Manages to get the poison gas. I'm surprised, because you couldn't see the scout. He knocked him off with the jetpack and gets the poison, dropping his health down to 92. Mascettino does have an orderly, so he can remove the poison. But that was, I think, a lucky throw, if anything, from Iron Fox. And Mascettino closing the gap, it seems. Looking to turn the corner, but realised his own pig was there, so backs it up and looks to drop him into the water again. Just focusing down the paratrooper at the moment. And he's already down to 70 health. And all of Iron Fox's pigs, the majority of them, are still on his side. And this is really where the Scout is at its weakest. Without a jetpack, without mobility. He does have poison. And it will be one hell of a shot if he can get this. Down the damn angle. Oh no! Does it roll backwards? No, it doesn't. Somehow it just misses the orderly. And that would have been one hell of a throw if he had connected. But that's what he needs to do. As this round goes on, he needs to poison the orderly. That way, at some point, he gains himself an extra turn. But at the moment, it's 3 versus 1. As both scouts and the paratrooper of Mascettino gang up on the paratrooper of Iron Fox. And he's already down to 30 health. And Iron Fox is making the move of mobility. We'll be looking to, I think, stand on top of the dam. No, changes his mind. Might be looking to do the same. Goes for the poison, again playing the long game. Just about getting it away, 1 second remaining. And gets the hit, so he's now down to 170. And here's where Mascettino has the advantage. Healing, tranking, anything he wants really. It's all at his disposal as he bumps the Scout's health back up again. And can really just look to trank, gain himself an extra turn. Doesn't really need to kill anybody just yet. Instead he's going to bide his time. And gets the shot away, down to 10 health. And neither side really have any heavy hitting classes. No one has a grenadier, no one has a heavy weapons. Both players relying on the paratroopers to do most of the brunt work with the bazookas. But so far it's just been a back and forth with jetpacks and long game tactics with poison. But seeing as Mascettino is over here with the Scout, he's going to drop him into the water, and that is going to do a hefty amount of damage here. That has been the issue for Iron Fox, but Mascettino just gets his shot away. Doesn't deal any damage, that is unfortunate. But Iron Fox has been caught in the crossfire, given that Mascettino has just focused down his paratrooper, which has kind of removed his health, of course, but also removed his ability to really inflict any damage. The issue with leaving the paratrooper alone with all that health is that he can then be free to roam around, damage whoever, but Mascettino has said no to that. He's put a stop to that instantly, and he has moved all 4 of his pigs into position to just destroy the paratrooper, and he has now drowned. And Mascettino still has time for the rest of his turn, so he's going to look to pick up a jetpack here. Will he get a shot away? No, instead he's going to just use the dam for cover. Doesn't want to be in sight of Iron Fox's Scout, who at the moment I think is still looking to poison the orderly, but it's a difficult angle from here. So I think he will reposition. It's a tricky shot because the angle is so steep. You risk overthrowing it or even underthrowing it, but he might even get the double here. Iron Fox seems to be the king of getting double shots with the poison. Only 2 seconds remaining, but that should be at least 1, as it does bounce and gets, oh, almost gets the double, not quite. Poison gas can be quite forgiving when it comes to hitboxes. But that means now if Mascettino wants to heal his pig who is poisoned, he will have to move him from that area, which most likely will involve him jumping down and hoping for the best. But once again, Mascettino not too phased by Iron Fox at the moment. He is looking for him on the dam, can't quite find him. And I think he will be a little bit frustrated at that one. But he's moving his pigs away, spreading them out a bit more. But Iron Fox is in a tricky spot on 132 health. But the paratrooper just chilling out, easy for him to sponge up the damage. And he's back to his regular amount of health. And it was the scout, in fact, who was poisoned, so he's only down to 115 health. But Mascettino certainly has the advantage with the extra kill, but he can't quite find Iron Fox's scout. The dam providing just enough cover, so I think it might be a blind throw here. And kind of hoping for the best, I think. Not quite, he's not over there, but he is looking for the shot. Goes in between both players. That is unfortunate, a little bit too far to the right, so it goes in the centre of both of his pigs. And Iron Fox gets left to move his scout to the jetpacks. And it's definitely going to be a long game. We're already about 10 minutes into this match, into round 2. And things are quite slow. But again, that's down to the players' lineup, the types of classes they have, and the position that they're in. They don't want to give up certain positions because they are quite valuable. And if they do take the risk, then they do risk losing health. Like, for instance, Iron Fox's scout, who doesn't have jetpacks. He's all alone. He does have high ground, but if he wants to make the move to start moving around the map and get off that sort of ledge, if you will, then he will take damage, or at least some kind of damage from the water. So, again, Mascettino doesn't really seem too phased about anything, really. He's kind of waiting, if you will, for Iron Fox to make a move, come into view. He's not looking to close the gap or anything. And Iron Fox will nudge his health down even more to 60. So Paratrooper's now down to 50 health, but I think he's going to look to sort of damage and run. I mean, if you look at the scout's position here, he's going to probably jetpack him into the water maybe. No, instead he is going to move away onto the top of the dam. Maybe a little bit short. I think he might be okay just about. I think he's going to quickly look to turn around. Maybe blast him. Ooh, goes for the scout. I completely forgot he was there. Thanks to the mini-map. But by taking that risk, by doing that, Mascettino has now lost a turn. Which is not what he wanted. I think he was going for the scout. He knew he was there. He was turning around to shoot him. Ran out of time. But I think his paratrooper was going to perish at some point soon anyway. So I think in the long run, again, won't trouble him too much. If it were me, I would have taken that paratrooper and used him as a ticking time bomb. Ooh, Mascettino getting lucky there, not to damage his own pig. Shoots a little bit short and ends up missing completely. But moving back, like I said, to the paratrooper that was on 50 health, is now on 10. Yeah, I would have just used the rest of his jetpacks, maybe knocked the scout into the water, body blocked, and used the bazooka to deal some damage, because like I said, this match is a long one, and if it's going to come down to... Oh, goodness me, what a shot there with a grenade launcher. If it's going to come down to grenade launcher shots from distance, then we're in for a long night, folks. But Mascettino says, nope, I don't want to play that game. I'm coming to you. He is going on the offensive. And that's where the idea of attack and defense are questionable on this map. Is it better to sit back and defend and make your opponent come to you? Or do you go on the attack and hope for the best? I think this is one of the matches where we've seen the most amount of scouts during a game, or at least consistently for both of these players. Both of them seem to favour using poison. And he looks to get the scope in, but he doesn't really want to shoot the paratrooper because he wants to gain himself another turn. Looking around for a target, doesn't really have one. So again, going to rely on the grenade launcher, who has been pretty accurate so far. Iron Fox, I think, overshooting there. Might have some internet issues, potentially. Things have been pretty smooth up till now, but I'm not entirely sure. Maybe a little lag spike for him, as that was full power, but not as accurate as he would have wanted. Mascettino doesn't have a jetpack, but he does have the angle. But I think that might be a little bit too short. If you angle it too far to the left, then yeah, it's more likely to drift off down the dam. So Iron Fox not taking any chances in terms of lag spikes. He's of course playing from his home in Finland, which is one of the things I love about the Hogs of War community, is the diverse range of players that we have from different countries around the world, just bringing everybody together to compete in a league with Italians, English people, Finnish people, Austrian people, all kinds of people just coming together to be sweaty tryhards in Hogs of War. But I hope you guys are enjoying the league so far. Like I said, we do still have 2 more matches to go in week 7, and then it will be 2 more games left before the playoffs. But it's, again, just, it's too close to call who is going to make it to the playoffs. I mean, I don't think I will at this rate. I really don't, but I know that Iron Fox is more likely to go through. Mascettino is still in a comfortable position in 5th place, and like I said, if he wins this, then he will go to 4th. And Iron Fox is, of course, looking to take the top spot, which he's held consistently for the past few weeks. He's kind of been battling it out with Caster and ADB at the top. But Mascettino dropping a big deuce down onto Iron Fox's pigs, and look at the amount of damage there on the scout and the paratrooper. He drops down to 40 health. And things are really hotting up now. Mascettino is really on the attack, but Iron Fox remains poised with the poison. And the amount of paratroopers is doing Mascettino some good. Mobility, jetpacks everywhere. Just the freedom to roam around and deal damage. But you can see Iron Fox's pig there, just in the far ground. He is positioned in a difficult position to hit on that little ridge. It's a tough one. But Mascettino instead goes for the paratrooper, I think deliberately dropping it short, and he goes down to 9 health. And Iron Fox really has his work cut out for him. He doesn't have the high ground. Mascettino, of course, removing some of the poison earlier on through a Healing Hands move. Iron Fox playing it safe, dealing damage. Nothing too crazy as the scout goes down to 31. And there could potentially be a double kill here. And no, not quite. He does damage himself, but the scout will perish And that is a huge turn for Mascettino, but look at the straight line between all three of these pigs. Iron Fox again prioritizing the poison gas, and he will get the first triple hit potentially here of the league with the poison. Gets one. No, it drifts off the dam. Doesn't get it. And the scout remains in the same position he's been in the entire game. Mascettino not losing a single pig so far, thanks to a quick maneuver with his orderly, healing where necessary. And I think that might be just enough to get the poison. So Iron Fox loses a turn. He does still have 2 pigs remaining. But again, the orderly will be looking to heal, I think. Both paratroopers currently stood on top of the dam. So he'll bump him up to 50 health and then look to get the trank on somebody. But running out of time, down to 10 seconds. Shouldn't be too phased. I think he's going to look to draw it out now. I think that should be a no-scope potentially. Nope, doesn't risk it. Gets the shot away onto the danger man. But speaking of danger, Herman on 97 health with 3 jetpacks. So he's going to leave the other scout alone and I think go for the dangerous paratroopers. He does have poison, but it's not really worth it in the long run. Looks to body block the orderly and, well, he will go for the poison and will, I think, get the double. No, rolls it past one, gets the other one, and that is the issue with going with too much power. Sometimes you can end up just doing too much. Mascettino's going to run straight past him, ignoring the scout that just poisoned him and instead going for the other scout. Changes his mind, goes for more damage, which he needs to be careful about in terms of his distance. He is a little bit close, but gets just enough, gets the maximum amount of damage and full damage, but he does skip across the water, misses a turn, down to 31. And where does Mascettino go from here? He's going to look to nudge these two out of the way. So he's going to look to remove the body block. But in doing so, it doesn't go his way. And both pigs still very close together, but instead he will go for the scoop, I think. No, yes, no, maybe so. On the way to Mexico, down the dam, into the water, bouncing in. And that will remove a ton of health, down to 43. Iron Fox is going to keep at it. He is still in this one. And I don't think he can really resist the temptation to damage both of these pigs that are stood right next to each other. But again, he's lacking that final punch. You know, he has a jetpack. He doesn't want to risk using that for damage. And instead goes for the knife. So bumping the orderly down. No, not quite into the water. Mascettino's scout here. Does he have any jetpacks? No, he has no mobility, but the deadly sniper rifle could be a factor here. That is, if he can get a shot away. Does he have a shot? No, he's going to play it safe with the grenade launcher instead. And Joe just over the top. Instead goes for the other scout. What a shot. I'm not entirely sure if he meant that, but bumps his health down to 1 and gets the kill. An unbelievable play there from Mascettino. If only we had instant replays, but goodness me. I thought he was going for the scout on top of the dam, but he sure fooled me. And that will be a little bit too much. And while Iron Fox has his work cut out for him here, where does he go? Who does he turn to? Got an orderly on 80 health. Another scout on quite a lot of health. And yeah, the only real thing he can look to do is body block. But Mascettino isn't going to care. He has the pigs to spare. And the orderly, again, not quite dropping where Iron Fox would have liked, down to 27. But he will pick up the other jetpack. And could potentially end the game here. If he gets a full 1-2-3 shot with the rifle burst, then it will be game, set and match to Mascettino. And exactly that might happen here. He just needs to angle it down. Doesn't care and misses the third shot. But that bumps the scout down to 13 health. And well, Iron Fox must know at this point that it is going to be game over for him, but he is not giving up. He is going to knock both of these pigs, or look to knock them both into the water here. Goes for the slight angle, a little bit high. And that nudges them both forward rather than into the water. But I think we can safely say here that Mascettino has taken this victory, as Iron Fox frantically tries to get his shot away. The orderly down to 13 health. Not going to pose a problem, because I think Iron Fox is... Oh, Mascettino living dangerously. He is currently stuck, it seems. Goodness me. Sliding down. But again, he has the pigs to spare. I think just centering himself here. Gets the scoop. Gets the victory. Mascettino takes this win 2-0 against Iron Fox. And he is right back in it. He will move up to 4th place. Iron Fox without a win now. He is 5-2. Mascettino, I've forgotten how many wins he has, but that changes everything going into week 8. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this match. Don't forget to check out the others and join us for the other 2 this week in week 7. I have been your host, Pinstripe. That was a crazy game, and I will catch you in the next match.